we finally do get nuke. You were surmising yesterday that we might actually never see it just because.
I thought that at least this tournament we wouldn't see it, especially this deep into the tournament. It's a bit of a wild card pick, I would say, considering the changes that have been made very recently. I don't think many teams are established on it. I don't think you'd waste a lot of practice time before a big tournament coming up trying to learn all the nuances of this new version of it. Either way, though, I might be completely wrong there. Maybe it's a bit of a kind of ace up your sleeve sort of play, and you're trying to see whether you can abuse some of the new approaches that might be there now. So I can't really speculate too much. I haven't even booted this map up. I've watched one stream on it, and I'm hoping to see what kind of new ideas people have got, especially on the T side now, considering they've got a few less options in the upper bomb side, but the CTs have less mobility as well, with the lack of the catwalk and the fact they don't have a ladder back up to the rafters now and stuff like that.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I, like you, have not really booted it up. To be fair, I tend to do most of my reconnaissance on maps based on watching games, but we haven't got to cast one of it. So it's a bit interesting. I think that definitely there will be a similar approach that we saw from the old iterations of Nuked outside. It'll be a lot slower. You can still go for the fast secret take with the smokes down, but it'll be a lot slower trying to wrap around or get toward big garage. You won't be able to utilize the catwalk, which I think was becoming quite powerful for the terrorist side. So it's interesting to me. It definitely is, because that means the CTs can rest assured they're not going to be coming from two different angles outside, and therefore I guess you can still get on the silo, but therefore they can maybe designate a little bit more toward ramp. You can put a little more pressure on the upper position. So it's, I think I don't know. I still say we didn't see enough of it to really get data that's sufficient, but we've seen that teams aren't playing it, and that's justified for change.
Considering, well, it's been speculated as a lot more CT-sided map now. Do you know how much weight that puts into the pistol rounds now at this point? If you win the T-pistol, get the 3-0, that's worth its weight in gold.
Which is It's funny because Nuke used to be super CT. Like, I don't mind a one-sided map. I think that there's a place for it. It just creates a different play style, and it certainly creates a different spectator experience. In fact, one-sided maps tend to have more epic comebacks because it appears that way due to the fact that naturally a team is playing from behind by default almost. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, this map was getting more and more even, which was a testament to what they did do to it. I mean, we saw an excellent, at the major, we saw an excellent T-side from Gambit. We had another one in there that was quite good recently as well that I don't recall. I think it was G2? I can't remember.
Possibly, yeah.
But there were some nice approaches that were developing, but again, not a lot of people playing it, so you've got to continue to mess around until they find a balance that everyone's happy with, I suppose, rather than balance overall. JKS, what a run through the smoke, gets toward the vents, and already drops down. That's going to make things a little bit awkward. HellRaisers have to consider that, and as they do consider it, as they force the rotations out, that's exactly when they go through the hut. So interesting approach from Renegades to try and catch off the movement of HellRaisers. Good finds. Spawn to get stuck behind the silo, downed in the end by a nade. Yustilla will fall, but good recovery. Jacob and Az are holding true.
We didn't reference those new skylights as well. People were complaining about those. I think they actually look better for the Ts. The fact that you could have got such a clean angle, you don't have to line anything up anymore. There's no set flash. You could just chuck them in there.
I think the one that I saw people complaining about was the Molotov on hut, but it's just as easy. Because now actually you just have to hit the back corner of it. It drops straight down.
I think that looks much better. I don't know. I guess when I saw people kind of whinging about it, it was like when it just came out and they haven't tested it yet. That looks really cool. Nice tactic from Renegades there, dropping one down towards the vent, obviously forces the rotation, and then waiting to go towards upper. Flashbangs go in, and you catch CTs in transition. That was actually very well played. I enjoyed that strategy from Renegades. There won't be the force buy here from HellRaisers. I think that's the correct call. Knowing that CZ's armor not really going to do too much for you, especially when the AKs are running around. A lot of teams will just focus on the rifles here, maybe go towards outside. But now holding a default, they did take that Angel towards outside. Remember, there is no old secret anymore, as it will. This area is still fine, but where the steps used to be, that's now been closed off, so there's not another area for the CTs to hide in. CT spawn is obviously a lot more visible now. They've changed the textures of the back so the CTs actually stand out. They don't blend in with the environment. And they've removed some boxes in this particular side of the map as well. That's the white wall at the back I was talking about. So all posters come. Have some camouflage.
Yeah, you're talking about where the steps used to be, the back side of the big garage.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also white walls there as well.
Way back there.
Any opposite or silo will have
a disadvantage. Point. That's a good point with the textures. Yeah, absolutely. Dark CT model against the fence.
Contrast.
So 1 kill again this round. They got Yustilla last time. This time it's Aza, but that's all they get so far on the pistols for HellRaisers. And pretty straightforward for Renegades. No bomb plant yet, but they'll take their time. They've got time to expend. They have 35 seconds to work with. Issa, keep in mind. Visa complications meant that HS started this tournament with HellRaisers. Nothing against HS in saying this. They went 0-2. Issa shows up. They've been on a run. In fact, they knocked out Gambit, which is pretty impressive in itself. Good shot. I'm impressed. Just running gut with the CZ. A little bit of luck, but he'll take it. Good crosshair placement nonetheless. Jacob's got the kill back. So 2 kills down, but still everyone is alive and well in the next round. They'll be able to keep 2 of the rifles up. Mac 10 for Azza to make some money back. Nifty decision. Stick on the pistol with some armor. Goes to the scout. Okay, fair enough. Thought he might try and build up the bank a bit. HellRaisers, meanwhile, this time, round 3. Interestingly, you're going to go aggressive on a pistol buy. A little more aggressive than I would have expected, but typically we see the CTs go for the full save in this round. So this is an interesting approach from Azza as well, because you can still get to the top of main entrance. You always could in the previous iteration as well. But the fact is, they left that air conditioning vent there, so you can still kind of play around that. You can still create angles towards secret.
Well, we'll see how that develops. I want to see whether people are still using the very same smokes they used to. Remember, there's no window in the hut anymore, so T's... Yeah. Although it's a double-edged sword, right? Because now AWPers can't go towards main entrance and look at the hut and stop a rush. So obviously the Ts get a couple less options in that respect, but the CTs don't get as much intel. But it makes rushes a little less viable, I guess. We'll see how that happens. You can still jump. So you don't have to boost up towards heaven anymore, Matt. You can still jump up there by yourself, as we just saw Azza do. So that's absolutely fine. I actually don't have much of a problem with these changes. I think they look pretty good. As Renegades will be finding the 3-0, we did say that's a massive start.
I think in the fact that you can still get to some of these areas is better on both sides because there's less, I won't say randomness, but less spontaneousness, perhaps, of where people are playing. There's not as many angles. Yeah. Problem before is when you played outside, CT or T, there were so many places you had to look. Now it'll start to simplify itself in that way, and it becomes more about raw skill in terms of utility, in terms of aim, winning out the duels. Man, playing CT out there was a nightmare before when you had catwalk, then you had the top of the annex or the main entrance to look at, you had the silo, you had the outside of red crate, you had in front of the boxes.
The catwalk was actually a little bit silly because obviously it was a great surface, right? So you could see beneath it at only a certain angles. If the guy, a CT was
and originally it was one-way spammable by mistake.
He could see down and see people outside, but you couldn't see him because he's at a weird angle. He's a little bit deeper on it. It was a bit strange. So yeah. I think just getting rid of that entirely was fine. But they did take a pause there, and we'll see whether this bonus round yields any sort of success for Renegades here. Massive round. You can see 3 players without helmets on the HellRaisers side. That means those Galils at Mac 10 will be very strong. Fast approach towards outside. Voxic has got the AWP. He'll find himself, though, smoked out of position, and we'll see whether this works out for them. Renegades have successfully made it down towards the secret steps, and we'll see if Nifty & Co. can find the first pick at this point. No defuse kits on the CT side. 3 smokes remaining, though, but this is defaults and Dead Fox with the FAMAS. Not an ideal weapon to try and find that first pick. As you can see, that's one of the players with the helmets getting absolutely wrecked there. I think there's only 1 vent down lower now to actually look
and turn the sides. Yeah, because they obviously there's 1 vent upper. They changed that, but there is now just left side vent bottom. So it's kind of a Z pattern when you drop in, or an L, I guess.
They're gonna have to save this, I think. The fact they've got no kits.
No kits, and op is obviously expensive in the first gun round, so they'll back it off. That's a consequence. That's a new box, by the way. That red box in the corner. I suppose that's what we can call it, Henry. New box.
Yeah, it's good for the Ts and the CTs.
There was already a new box call, though, on this map, too.
Sure. I like this addition, but it's going to be a 2 versus 1. There's no way boxing on this round. I like that addition because it helps the CTs. If you get pushed back on ramp, obviously we talk about the idea. If you're a ramp player, you need to fall back to a more defensive position. You can sit behind those red boxes, sure, but that's going to be a very common Molotov now for the Ts. That's not overpowered by any stretch of the imagination. People are overreacting to that. 1 Molotov flushes that position now. It's a high-risk position, but when the Ts plant, it's more viable because the CTs are unlikely to have an incendiary at that point of the round, and you can actually play defensive.
I still think that the dark spot box is more overpowered because it's harder to get utility into it. You got the little ledge above it. It's in a little nook, if you will. Yeah, that's a difficult one. This box is fine as well because it gives you a line of sight directly toward toxic doorway, or decontamination doorway, excuse me, which I think that was a super powerful post-plant position in itself because if you had a smoke down on top of the silo, you were in the open for a crossfire if you were the second member while someone was defusing, if you will. So it was, I actually don't mind that.
We'll see how that develops. 4-0 Renegades looking very good. Remember, HellRaisers are always a bit of a dark horse in these sort of tournaments. StarSeries, especially, the last time we were here, they got to the semi-finals. I mean, maybe the quarterfinals. I think it was quarters. But either way, they were dangerous. They were taking some big scalps, and we'll see whether the addition of Ista coming back will help them out. HS was obviously murking for them in the initial stages of the tournament. But this is the full squad now, Angel and Co. as they hold up with the partial buy, get maximum loss minutes next round. Not a great start. People have been saying this is a CT-sided map heavily now. And there's this up. One of the star players for HellRaisers. Nifty AWP player for Renegades. And this is the boost I'm talking about. So you can just get up there quite simply still, silently. So it kind of gives you the discipline of having proper outside control first before you get up there. You can flash shake him in. I'm sure that will be happening. Ooh, taking it dry. I thought he would at least get a flash. Good information covered, 30 seconds. And they'll split the upper bomb site, presumably, in the next few seconds.
Good tags to Bondic.
Ooh.
TKS, a little bit eager. So good win from HellRaisers, considering you mentioned that they probably should have saved in the last round. Did not, chose not to, and then they make up for it.
Well, that certainly works.
Well, and it's an important one to get that in early because obviously CT side, we're talking about, we think it's more CT sided now. Again, it's not everyone's comfort zone on this map for sure, but they've got to get things rolling early on. If they let this get too far away, it's going to be a huge problem to try and get a comeback.
I have to say, out of the draw last night, obviously we had a bit of a debacle. I think Renegades would be very happy with this outcome, right? The fact you had Cloud9, Na'Vi in the mix.
Sure, yeah, you're talking about the
Sports.
two teams couldn't play.
Sure.
Yeah. Panda was a bit disappointed with that he made that mistake.
Sure.
He was embarrassed.
But I think, like, out of all things considered, Renegades have got the best possible outcome from the draw, right? So they're going to be gunning to win this one and make the playoffs. They both have 2-2 record. Loser is out of the tournament and gives us their gaming room permanently.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We get their practice room
and then
to play PUBG for 14 hours.
And then the winner, obviously,
Henry,
it's back.
It's your favorite thing. Why?
Luckily, it was a left click. I can handle the left click. It's the right click. It's too much.
Ooh, good shot, Voxic. More to the point about needing to get this going early on and to make up for the deficit of rounds, this is HellRaisers' choice, and they are starting CT side.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do win at the CZ, so they are not out of the game. Obviously, it's going to be very early days here. First kill, though, for Voxic. JKS should be getting this one, though. Issa takes him down, though. He's always seeming to be dueling close range and finding the headshots. Now, CT doesn't really have to do anything. As I mentioned, you cannot get on the rafters anymore unless you boost on top of the huts. There's no ladder up there, so it provides a little less mobility for the CTs. Usually they could fly up the ladder and rotate anywhere they wanted to, and that's why I feel like that was a really cool change in that respect. CTs can't be... It will cost them to drop down to the bomb site. They want to play that area. So though, nails another shot. Takes down Azza. That's nifty. Can't hit that one. He is the main all for Renegades and is getting absolutely wrecked by Voxic. He finds his third kill of the round. HellRaisers showing us why they picked this map now, as they have a clean sweep there. There'll be a scrappy buy remaining for Renegades if they want to take it. I would suggest they don't. 2 rounds isn't the end of the world. 3, it's fine. You'll still maintain the lead. Could just take some deagles here. Maybe just try and take down some trades towards the upper bomb site.
So, 4-2. HellRaisers now finally breaking Renegades to the pistols. Ustillo is not going to be deterred. Bit wider angle, by the way, through hut now. See a little bit more of the rafters. I'm actually early, and I've been, quietly reserved judgment because we haven't seen it, but I'm all right with this. I'm impressed with it, I think, so far. Feet show inside of the smoke. Bondic just barely catches off Ustillo. He thought he could get clever and hold a different angle, maybe sneak through it, spot toward the rafters.
This does really remind me of the Source version of nuke, right? Because at this point, you've got 4 rounds on the T side, right? As an in-game leader, I'd be thinking, wow, we've already done our job now. Anything else at this point is a bonus. I'm going to say 11-4 would probably still be a good scoreline for a T side on this version of nuke. So maybe at this point, Renegades will start thinking, right, what can we do at this point? How can we just get 5 on the board? What kind of weaknesses have we got? And that's why you're using these ecos for, not necessarily to win the rounds, but just to work out where the ore plugs to go. Right? Where is he going to be positioning himself? There's not going to be any demos really available at this version. Things might have changed up, of course. So a couple of kills for Jacob, though. He has been playing exceptionally well. Just signed a 6-month contract with Renegades. Suggests he's not maybe full-time just yet, while they kind of stabilize.
Yeah, well, I actually don't mind the 6-month as well because it's, as you say, not full-time. It's more of, I think, an opportunity for each to feel each other out. And the conditions of which, because obviously Jacob's now going to have to travel a lot more to be with Renegades. That can take an effect on your playing, you know, your skill and I guess contribution to a team, how happy you are, etc., how well you perform, but also your happiness and lifestyle as a human being, which I think is something to take into consideration. Good shot, Dead Fox. They will close it out. So HellRaisers pull it back just barely, considering that was against Pistols to start off from Renegades. Good job by them, all things considered. Nifty's going to call for the pause. But I think it's a good feeling out period for both.
It's quite nice for both, because obviously it looks like now Renegades actually 6 months is fine for both parties, right? He's not locked in for eternity in a 2-year contract. They're not just bringing him in to put a price tag on his head and showcase him trying to make some money out, like some orgs might try and do that, signing a player like him. So it seems like it works for both parties. They can just work out whether this is working, do the 6 months, get like 4 or 5 events under the belt, and if they want to extend it, obviously the option will be there. So that seems quite reasonable for both parties. Still with the 3 Australian core, and Jacob coming in from Norway. A technical pause for Azza, it seems. Probably TeamSpeak, I'd imagine.
Yeah, TeamSpeak's a confusing one at LAN. I know that seems bizarre, but they run it on localized LAN servers, and
you'd think that'd be more effective.
I think it has to do with
20 nodes. It's fine.
I think it has to do with more the client that you run to do it, rather than putting it on a permanent box. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's usually where some of the issues exist.
I don't know. I can't even tell you. Like when I was playing, I used to just run a TeamSpeak on my local PC. Everyone would connect to it, and I can't even remember a single issue ever had. I assume they don't do that here. They probably have to monitor the coaches and stuff like that, and it probably might be an issue like unmuting the coach and like kind of constantly playing of it. Maybe something happens there. I don't know. But 4-3 now, just a note, and the AWP comes out for Nifty. I'm surprised to see so many attempts on the AWP on the T side. I thought they'd just stick with 5 rifles and then bring it out if they think it's required. Smoke there from Jacob, and they're going towards a ramp this time to see what's available to them. Nifty does take a lot of damage there in the flames. Flash is good, but Dead Fox, if he peeks any further, he's almost certainly going to die.
Shot, Dead Fox takes down Jacob. Nade high, but things already transpiring the other direction as JKS is able to pull one back on Voxic. That'll slide him down the ramp a bit further. They'll leave the bomb temporarily so they can investigate further toward Hell and as well as on the ramp. This is what you talked about, backed off the front of second angle. He hasn't gone to those boxes, but same idea, I guess, in terms of what he's up to. Xipix is very good at understanding when to rotate off the ramp.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult things that you need a certain player that's not there for the glory, not trying to get the big spray downs. If someone's happy to even just get no frags and fall down and call for the rotations and get back up in. A lot of players, even to this day, will overstay their welcome and have some very good rounds with some very disappointing ones. If you go down 5-on-4 there, it's a real good access point for the T's, and his Dead Fox already done his job, got the 1 kill, dropped down, wasn't too greedy, maintaining that man advantage. Now, objective is trying to stay alive, run the timer down as long as possible, gets 1 more, and exactly tucks himself in the corner. He's trying to buy seconds where he can, but has a lovely work there with the AK.
I'm still not sure how I feel. I need to see more rotations. So look at that. We'll get back to that because look at this timing. Good play from Azza. He's immediately on the case. Angel didn't spot him getting closer. Brings us to a one-on-one. 13 seconds. Bomb needs to be planted, however. Azza just realizes that he can't go upper. He wants to throw a smoke and try and fake it off, but now he's got to get inside of that smoke and use it for cover. Bondic's going to bounce a nade. That'll go just far enough. In fact, picks up a second nade, so stacking nades. He picked up one just behind him inside of the vents. Azza knows that's obviously where he's coming from, but still Bondic finds the kill. I'm not sure how I feel yet about the single vent. I need to see more rotations because it's a predictable angle now.
Well, it's all about compromises, right? You remove some of the options from the T side. As soon as, like I said, when the bomb gets down towards low, I think that's a really exciting prospect now for the T's, because if you get the bomb down there, CT's rotating in, have a really rough time. The only option really is to go at the back vent and have to kind of methodically take every single angle. I think that's actually
I guess that's fair, because, yeah, if the T's get it, they've earned it, and it should be harder to reach.
Yeah,
okay, I can live with that.
It balances things out, right? Because then the utility you need now, 1 smoke in the vent, Molotov back left, and everyone goes through the windows. And like people are saying it's a really CD-sided map. I think if you get towards lower, especially if you can focus on ramp and trade effectively there, once you get to lower, that's when things become a little bit easier.
That's an interesting point as well, because I always thought with all the toys outside, all of the new features that everyone was looking to, the catwalk, etc. Hang on, JKS, this is similar to the pistol strat. He goes down, trying to pull rotations. That's his goal, and the rest will try and walk in.
No one can come behind him, right? So he has 1 vent to watch. So vent dives, you're going to see a lot more of those going forward. But This is nice work so far from Renegades. You can see what they're up to. Azur JKS getting it done with the CZs. Double orbs in the retakes. This is why you do not double orb on nuke. As soon as this happens, the round is over.
That's the same thing they ran on the pistol. They got JKS down below, and they just wanted to cause chaos. It's worked. Voxic, though, good shot. Bomb's not planted, so hold the thought on retake, because he still has an angle that's workable at this point in time as well. Second op in the hands of Dead Fox. Rotates back toward main. It's actually stuck outside behind the crate, and it's found. Nifty's got the kill. Voxic knows it. He's got to chase him down. Nifty into the corner. Don't let him reload, surely. So Voxic gets there, but that allows the bomb to be planted, and he's aware. Now it becomes difficult. Those ones directly underneath. Is Asa all the way lower?
He is, I think, yes.
That's a problem. Thankfully, Voxic doesn't know it yet.
This is the problem with nuke in general, isn't it? So yeah.
Oh, is this...
Yeah, he probably can't win this round. Oh, he does get
No. Is this a lineup? Does he know about something we don't? He thinks the bomb's lower. It is lower. What am I saying? Okay, all right, fair enough. I was confused on this. I thought it was actually planted up behind the silo, so fair enough. As I got it, the camera angle threw me off on that because I was wondering why that came that way. So my mistake. I thought it was actually planted behind the silo at upper.
Well, there we have it. Double orbs on nuke. Matt, what have we learned about that? Don't do it.
Not the best.
It can be great, right? If you run away with rounds, you're going nuts and they can't frag you, sure. But as soon as they trade a frag and get in towards this sort of situations, orbs just have a nightmare on nuke. And that's why I don't even agree with one sometimes. I think two is
so here's where I got confused, because when he was chasing Nifty, the last time I saw the bomb, it was upper, and so were they. So I thought they actually just planted it right there. And then look, the red's right thrown off by typical nuke. It is lower. Should have realized. Back to the point I was going to make, though. With all the stuff that was going on outside, I think a lot of people didn't utilize ramp the way that it could have. It wasn't as effective as it could have been. It didn't reach its potential. Now I'm wondering if more and more people are going to go back to it.
I think so. Like, I think it's all about defaults and baiting out utility at the very start as they're trying to get in the vent. Does get in, but that nade might take him. Not quite. Yeah, I think ramp room is underutilized right now, and we'll see whether Angel gets the shot. Indeed, he does. Takes down one. Yustilo will drop at the very same time. Nifty in a 4 versus 1. This is a pretty harsh reset round. Like we said, I think 5-6 rounds on the T side is probably fine. Dead Fox manages to do it again. Lots to discuss in this map. If you're just joining us and wondering why we're talking about nuke so much, it's been around for years. It's had I guess you'd say, a significant update. It's had a lot of changes made to it. You can look them up yourself. I won't bore you with all the details, but a lot of teams scared to really touch this map. It was barely played at events in the past. Like, I think at the major we saw it twice in total, which says a lot. And I think Valve trying to just make it a little bit different. So we're not just seeing the same tactics every single time. The outside smokes, get towards lower, wait for CTs to come in and trade out, hope for the best. Now, I think you have a few more options. I think ramp is a lot more viable. I think the vent dive is very viable. Once you get one in the vent, there's nowhere to come behind you. There's nothing like that. You can just hold up and watch for players dropping down. I think there's going to be a lot of teams considering this now, especially teams like HellRaisers, right? They want to be the upset team. They want to be, at least if you're good on this map, you can force a veto to a team that's potentially better than you. You can maybe get the best of 3 in the direction you want. I think that would be a definite good idea, just to have that in your arsenal.
Ooh. Nothing like welcoming your death. Opens the door as the nade's flying at it. It lands on his feet.
That's a full ego.
It's just, I mean, if HellRaisers thought this was going to be a curve... Okay, Jacob. Still is on 4 HP, but what a shot. He's got the door open. Not literally, but hole through it so we can see. So Bondic is going to try and hold off that angle, knowing that that's where the shots came from, knowing that he has no other choice, to be completely fair. Get down to his right. He's the only one that doesn't have one. He can pick that up. Good shot back to Jacob. Now it should be under control. Yeah, but if HellRaisers thought they were going to have an easy time on this map against Renegades, if it was a curveball, Renegades certainly are bringing a decent approach to it. Bondic's going to get aggressive. Is this justified or not? Remember, no window. So if they go through, and they still have to make noise opening that door, by the way. If they went through, they wouldn't be spotted if Bondic went back the other way. Now he knows they're there. Here's them run through. Here's them drop down. Want to get a bomb plant out of this. That's the intention. He's still out of watch. Anyone coming down behind. Nails the headshot as well. He's 4 HP. It's going to give him an M4. He can continue to hold the angle. He smokes it off instead because he wants to get in a better crossfire position with his teammate. Voxic, knowing that that smoke is actually going to give up on it altogether and run towards Secret. And Ustillo's actually backing off to watch that. He's making a lot of noise. Ustillo can get the jump in the corner, off angle. Good read, but what a shot. Ustillo, what a round. With 4 HP, he's going to be the hero in this. Azza just has to sit tight, play the time. Dead Fox trying to get on the bomb. Puts the smoke on it immediately. Does find the kill on Azza, so Ustillo has to do this with 4 HP. Kit in the smoke. He knows he's on it. He knows. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the lineup. Dead Fox has it. Ustillo's aware that he's got to run away and try and save the gun.
That's such a shame. What great work done there by Jakin with the Desert Eagle at the very start of the round. They get towards lower. Like we said, once you get down there, all bets are off. Anything can be done. The CT's going to have a nightmare to retake. Smoking the bomb, that silenced them format. So they've got 20 bullets in the clip. You miss those first 10, 15 bullets, you know you're not going to be hitting the shot. It has to be an instant kill, really. Otherwise, you lose track of where the bomb is. And he couldn't quite get the lineup correct. So there we have it. 6-5, but a close round, keeping HellRaisers modest in terms of their economy. Dead Fox will deploy an incendiary at the start, of course, to stop the rush, and then he'll position himself once he gets comfortable. JKS sneaking out, trying to get towards those vents again. We're seeing a lot of this, but he can't find the vent just yet. He is struggling somewhat. Has he got in? He hasn't, but he still finds a kill. Issa will be dropped, and it's still an equal exchange. 3-on-3 Voxic. So we'll have a look at this lower take right now. I did see a Molotov towards the vents, sure. And now bombed out. Only got one vent to watch. You can actually focus a lot more, but Angel, no one's gone through the window. That's an absolute nightmare. Why have they not checked that?
There's your new zigzag Z stairs, if you will, which I'll get back to that. I really like that change because I thought it was a bit of a silly angle to walk down. First off, we had the overpowered crossfire from the 2 stairwells, if you could get there. Secondly, if you were here and looked into control, you could see their feet under the pipes, which I didn't like at all. So I think this is a better change. It gives you a nice angle from the window as well to play off of. Jacob. Downed by Angel, they'll hold it. So 7 rounds now for HellRaisers. Yeah, I think that's we haven't touched on that change, but I really like the change of the stairwells.
I haven't seen enough of them yet. I guess it's more intricate. There's a corner, like a 90-degree turn down there now. So I guess it gives a few more angles and cubby holes for people to hide in. Angel, I guess that might have been instrumental to this sort of play. They didn't clear it all out, and I have no idea. Windows, one of the absolute most default places to clear before you plant the bomb.
Just a subtle change as well to mention. Above the dark spot box, they have removed the railing, so you can actually drop straight into it.
That's a great change. Now the T's can actually run down and challenge it. They don't have to jump up and try and catch him, right?
Yeah, the jump is just awkward. So towards Squeaky Door, a lot of Molotovs thrown. JKS takes some good, bad damage, I guess, if you're him, but a good amount of damage from it. Actually backs off, so didn't make the vent dive. That's one way to shut it down. Instead, though, we're going to see a secret take from Renegades. We haven't seen this yet. Similar smokes to what we're used to seeing, but this time they'll commit to it. I guess he's going to hold off in the lobby as well to see if anyone pushes for information. It's about the best thing he can do at this point in time with just the UMP and 38 HP. He has a Molotov, which likely would have been utilized lower when they got there, but now that won't be part of it, so they'll have to be cognizant of that. Cover off corners as a result of it. Good shot, Ustillo, to take out Dead Fox. You can see Nifty. His crosshair placement wanted to go to the top of the stairs. The stairs where he's like, oh, wait, I'll look at the door.
Well, they have the man advantage for now. Remember, HellRaisers have looked better in the gun rounds, but it is a CT-sided map from what we can tell. At least at this point, we think it is. And it will be Angel defending lower once again. Remember, limited in terms of angles available to him, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. Finds Jacob again.
Oh, no. The gun barrel as it just sticks out. And Angel reads that Nifty's going to peek off of it. Great. Great awareness. 3 kills out of the 5. He's got 2 to go, and Ustillo's not far away from him. Remember, JKS is a bit removed from the activities for now. In fact, Bondik's going to get him, so forget the ace. Although Angel, believe it or not, did the damage onto him as well. He gets the assist. Foxa closes it out. 8-5 now for HellRaisers.
Looking good for them. Whereas their pick coming into nuke here on the CT side to kick things off. Angel, wonderful play there. Just to note, Voxic has found 16 kills, 8 deaths. Angel on 13. They are their big names so far. I'd imagine Jacob's near the top on the other side. 9. Azza and Ustillo both on 11. As we go into another partial buy for them, Deagle's body armor. And some basic grenades. And so we'll try and get something done with the CZ outside. Not ideal weaponry for that sort of play. He's trying to take the attention away from his teammates to get on the side. Apparently his jump's a little bit harder now. It's about what it... No, actually it looks easier than it was at source. I don't know why people are even commenting on it, but they did struggle to get a bit of that.
Even at the start of Go, it was, I think, 265 5 for units? Ask Launders.
That was actually pretty challenging when it first came out.
Yeah,
like,
no, you had to hit a strafe jump.
I remember
or
Forest
sorry, or a
was
long
one of the
jump.
first one that could bounce off the little hitch beneath it, and you could like.
That was the hardest
one
one.
bit.
Yeah, if you bunny hopped it, because you were also doing an elevated bunny hop, which I'm useless at.
So yeah, that was the fastest way to get up. That was actually skillful to get up. You can get up normally, like in a slow sort of way. Like you say like 2 seconds.
Oh, that's touch. Oh no, it's not touchdown. I thought it was going to be perfect. It was, but then the AC unit blocked the damage. That one. You still was just wondering why they won't leave him alone up there. So, despite all of this, and all of the initial exchange and awkwardness of getting on top of Silo, they've got this within reason. AK as well at JKS is going to take down Issa, who whiffs on it. He will fall in the end, and Steadfox is very accurate to make sure that he takes out Az as well, 9-5. So, HellRaisers are starting to stretch their legs on their map choice. Yeah, it used to be, I think, I might have, it's been a while since I've been in KZ and whatnot. I think the long, yeah, I forget. I think 265 sounds high. I think 235 is default jump, if I'm not mistaken, and then it's, I think it was a 240 or a 240 something.
Well, there you have it.
So it wasn't that hard, but you had to get an air strafe mechanic in there at some point to hit it.
Double up setup for the HellRaisers. It's going to be Voxic and Deadfox once again. Quite the formidable duo, if you don't mind me saying. And Voxic holds towards outside the smoke. There's a large gap in the Angel, though. Won't be able to capitalize on it. Does dink Ustillo in the process, but 5-on-4 in favor of the Renegades. Voxic now has to convert. Does find one. Drops the bomb towards main entrance. Jacob will try and take him down in return. 2-on-2. JKS will be getting that bomb down. Deadfox is brave to come out the vent at that point, looking for any players he can. Jacob, though, holding the garage best he can with Voxic going down. Shouldn't be possible for Deadfox to win this, all things considered. He has got a smoke, though. I would drop that, fake defuse, and wait for the reaction to come in. Hasn't touched the bomb yet, so now he wants to touch it. And now we'll see whether that flashbang will bait them out. They are panicking a little bit. You might want to full defuse now, because if they've got to reload, I'm fake defusing at this point. There we go. See what I mean? The Glocks come out, make things a little bit more confusing. Just so you know if they're going to be panicking, trying to reload, that's when you kind of sneak it in. But not meant to be.
JKS,
give it a sweat towel.
Yeah, exactly. Wipe off the mouse.
Get the armpits in there as well.
I think that's the...
Do you think they all share the same sweat towel?
I hope not.
Kind of good luck charm. Everyone's kind of together.
I can't tell if that's an EC. It looks like an EC2A, the white edition.
Yeah.
Which has, as opposed to the black one, exactly. Yeah. Gloss finishes for me are way too sweaty.
I have really sweaty hands, and I have to use that. Have you ever used that stuff like Gamer Grip before? I think Hashtag used it. And it's like basically like liquid chalk. You put it on your hands.
Right, gotcha.
And when you, for me at least, when I play CS and it's like a high pressure game, like my hands are bone dry, and the gloss finish is actually really cool. But then you get a lot more grip and you've got real dry hands. But if you're slightly sweaty, then it does slip around all over the place.
Yeah, no, I like the matte finish of the black one a little more for that reason. We'll get back underway. Good win for Renegades to force out a 6th. Certainly gives them a great chance of fighting on in the second half, especially if they can get a second pistol. They did win the first, remember. Went 4 rounds with it. And we'll get underway. What will the pistol approach be from HellRaisers? They do have a Molotov, 2 flashes, a smoke, and nade, so 2 players without armor. That suggests to me perhaps another fast vent dive is what we'll see. Angel's actually going up above, and he's the one with the Molotov, so it might actually be a bounced Molotov through these new skylights. Flashes will go that direction. Issa times it a little bit incorrectly, though. He went just before, 1 step too soon, so he was blinded as well. They still found the kill onto Ustillo in the rafters. Good use of those new skylights. Perfect bounce inside of the site. Angel's now going to watch his backside as Jacob's going to try and push around. Good read so far from HellRaisers as Azza sits on top of Heaven. And Nifty's going to try and hold off at the corner. Azza goes immediately back in, gets one, snaps over, finds another. He's got a chance at this, has to reload. Can't go backwards because the Molotov holds him out. So the Molotov ultimately wins the round in that regard.
There we go. Azza definitely had a chance in that one, but after winning the pistol in the first half, Renegades will have to give this one up. HellRaisers will be taking double digits first. Plenty of cash for them. It looks like Renegades with the opposite approach to HellRaisers brought in round number 2. They will be force buying with the CZs and the armor. It was HellRaisers got pistols and no investment there in the protective wear. As we'll Have a look at that final buy. 2 smokes, 1 flashbang. Mac 10s, of course, for HellRaisers. They might just go for that fast approach. Remember, you cannot sit above the squeaky door anymore, like in very old versions of nuke. And there is a bit of more distance towards the squeaky door. You can actually get a little bit closer to it, but it's actually more beneficial for the Ts. It means the CTs don't have that big yellow ledge they used to have before to hide behind and look for players coming out the squeaky door. Jacob. Oh, I thought he's almost certainly going to get 1 here. There it is. Gets the double map, but not quite enough as he will be dropped here. The Silence USB and Nifty probably didn't want to challenge that. He had no armor, no good pistol. That was a really difficult challenge for him. Could have just kept the man advantage there, but still 3-on-3. Not the end of the world. Still possible.
And Voxic are going to push, try and wrap around behind the hut. Reclaiming former territory that was rightfully theirs, but as they do that, Angel's the one that I'm most interested in this round, because he's gone all the way through ramp, underneath of Ustillo, who seems to be aware of it, and is now silently climbing back up the new staircase to get into heaven. And a great read from Ustillo once again.
There we go. Looks like this could be possible. This play, remember, no hut window now, protects the Ts in many ways as well. As they go towards up, it comes down to the 1 versus 1. Issa's low HP, and JKS manages to prevail as Jacob to kick things off, but Renegades desperately needed that round. And it's looking very positive for them now. Double kill towards the ramp, and that's the problem with that. They didn't use any utility towards the ramp at all. They went for a contact play. The CZ was there. No pop flashes, no smoke towards the left-hand side to focus their attention towards the right. And the trade was not possible. The CZ map maybe needs a little bit of discussion right now. Is it too OP in those sort of positions? A pistol that can make that happen with no sort of, I'm not going to say no sort of skill, but if you hold that sort of angle and then run round, you can just hold the left click and hope for multiple frags, which is possible. It actually is better than an M4 in that particular range, you know? Like,
that's true, yeah. The headshot.
You can get one-shot kills, an M4 can't.
Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same firing rate nor the same magazine
of course,
capacity, but you're right in terms of damage distribution.
In that particular situation, Jacob was better off there with the CZ when they ran around the corner because he could get one-shot kills.
Yep. Potential DPS is higher, I would imagine. Yeah. The interesting thing, though, is that it's one or the other, right? It's that or the Tech 9.
Exactly.
Would you go back to the old Tech 9?
No, I wouldn't. I would think they just.
I mean, I'm not saying it's one or the other. They certainly could find a balance for both.
Yeah.
But
it's just I think you just need to remove the fact that you can get close range headshots like that, like one taps. But either way, as up, we'll take 1 down there. This is going to be partial buy for HellRaisers, but JKS taking care of it. Quite lovely fashion there. 1 kill for Angel, and that should be the round, really.
Yeah.
Bomb down.
Grab a FAMAS and make this expensive at this point in time, but bomb is down in possession of the CTs. So Angels really got a chance in this in 1:18. I don't fancy a save. He could, potentially. The CTs don't need to chase. Better still, he'll just flash back through. I think Ustillo as well, 3 HP. That could have gotten very interesting, but he gets the shot on the UMP. And we go 10-8, and T-side will have to wait a little bit more. They don't quite have enough money for guns.
Yeah, Falika for sure. It's going to be a close game. We'll see whether these Glocks can do anything at all. 1 deagle for Angel, 16 kills, Voxic 23. So the SMG should be running riot here as we go into round number 19. Nades towards upper and indeed outside. Voxic won't take too much damage there, but that one hurts a little bit more. Nifty, no orb this time towards the garage with the M4A4. It's the first, and Voxic, I just got a feeling he's going to do something with this deagle. We'll have a look. Might not have a chance to as his teammates are dropping around him.
JKS spots them first. Bomb dropped. First kill successful. Misses the second shot on Vox, or excuse me, but knew where he was. Zend. It comes back to haunt him with the deagle. Be careful. Nifty will take care of him. So 10-9, and now guns back up. And I imagine we get, well, I was going to say we would. I thought Voxic would buy it and drop it and get an AWP out T-side. Perhaps it's not as powerful T-side because really it's now outside. It's tougher to hit ramp, but without the window shot, I think the Ts have less reason to go for the AWP.
Sure. We'll see if that rings true. HellRaisers will be having the 5 rifle setup, one of which is a Galil. I'm interested to see what kind of strategies towards the upper executions we'll see with the new Skylights. I haven't seen enough of that yet. I only saw it on the pistol for Renegades. Obviously, the observing nuke is an absolute nightmare, so we might have missed a few, but here's the upper play for now. Ustillo having a very easy run with the UMP there. They also almost offer themselves up with one flashbang. That's not an execution. That's just like a gut instinct play. I think he's heard someone in the upper bomb site, maybe heard them drop down, wanted to use the flash and try and trade them out, but he's still not affected at all by that one, and it looked a little bit too easy for him. Nice work, but still could have done a bit more with that. The HellRaisers now chasing in round number 20. Jacob guaranteed there was one here. He was fall down, wants to stay for a little bit more. Double kill for him as the human rubble decorates D-nuke there. It will be presumably an eco for HellRaisers, considering they had the Galil in the previous round.
Gassad last night playing some Counter-Strike on his own. Got some time behind the PC. So 3 AKs carried over to the CT side. CZs and PT50s now for HellRaisers to work with against them. Immediately deploys the smoke out toward radio. Desperate from JKS. Good smokes outside, by the way. No gaps. Nifty's not going to be able to spot anything. Sprays into it, but they're already down in secret. This is where Jacob has to rotate early. Has to get off of ramp and be prepared to cover off on lower, because so far no one's down there. And Dead Fox is going to try and work out late from Squeaky and catch them off. This is all right. This will be, or should be, at least a bomb plant if Issa can get in position fast enough. He's toward control room, and the Molotov will keep Jacob back out. So by not rotating down early enough, nothing he's going to be able to do against the pistols. And now they have to retake lower sight. You said it. There's a little bit less angles that they have to worry about for the T side to hold off that specific situation. Gets on everyone except for Azir. They certainly do have the advantage in terms of weapon. A good read. The Dead Fox is still out toward lobby. He was hoping desperately that they would head down the vents. He would sneak in behind them with the pistol. That's not going to happen. It's Nifty. Instead, into the crossfire. Angel starts it off. Gun available to them, but they will have to overextend slightly to get toward it. Good play there for JKS, and you still let to find Issa. Still, though, they've got Bondic inside of control, and damage is being dealt. Angel's got the M4. He's got the lineup as is extremely low. Voxic sent another shot. It's all down to Jacob, the man who couldn't rotate fast enough from vent, and Bondic's going to take him down.
I think these vent dives are looking very powerful right now. It's very beneficial to get down that one vent, down towards lower, ramp split coming in, and then you've got so many positions to hold towards it. It seems like it's an absolute nightmare for the CTs on the retake. So I got to stand by my statement of saying once the bomb gets down towards lower, all of a sudden it becomes a T-sided map because it's so difficult to retake area. Obviously, it's easier said than done to get towards lower, plant the bomb. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. And these CZ rounds are looking to be very powerful down in that particular area. If you have CZs in the vents, waiting towards ramp for rotations. Like, if you can get a player down there, you're in a great position. 11-10. As HellRaisers take the lead once more. So this is another tactical pause. Orbs on either side. I don't think we'll see Renegades with a double orb setup. Don't really have it within their wheelhouse.
Smoke down quick. Double flash. Short smoke at least would let them transfer toward red crate. They actually want to get a little bit of vision beyond that. Voxic's the one to do so. Interestingly enough, he's holding the bomb, but that would be recovered. To pop flash into smoke and run it. Nifty's ready. He's heard them. Oh, shoulder peek nearly gets it. What a shot of the AWP. He wants to get toward outer. He can't even get there, and yet still hits the close quarter shot.
Yep, he is a very flashy AWPer at times, as he manages to find the opening pick. 5 on 4, and he got tagged up down to 66. For now, using his utility to hold them at bay, Incendiary first to stop the trade, then his smoke just to completely lock them out of the position altogether, maybe funnel them towards upper, flashbangs towards main. Issa trying to do what he can here. As it holds on the hut, and JKS continuing that good form with the M4A4. He will be traded out, but Issa was tagged up in the process. As I'm watching Freddy players come at the hub. Now he's got no window to watch, man. That actually makes his job a lot easier. Just have one watching the squeaky door, or maybe not, as Dead Fox is showing us right now. And that is a massive problem. Why no one's watching Squeaky, I don't know. And he should be punished for this one, but Azza, well recovered, at least gets one.
At least gets one. Voxic hits the secondary shot, trades it out. You're right, that is peculiar that they didn't. Interestingly, with his Head low. So far forward on the hut, he wasn't exactly visible. So now with rafter control from heaven, should be able to find or at least spot Ustillo heading in so long as he keeps his eyes in that direction. Nifty instead though with the AWP finds a shot of the bomb. That's when Ustillo attacks 11-11. And having only gotten one gun round and then being hit hard with this round, it's a reset against HellRaisers. Bondik's got 5K, but the rest can't justify it. He could drop pistol. Okay, he's going to go. He's gone for the AK. There's 3850 on Issa. He could complement that, but the rest of them are going to be on pistols.
Absolutely are. 11-11. Renegades will win this. They'll have an open path towards the first map victory. I would say they are the slight favourites, but HellRaisers have been pretty nifty in the tournament themselves. The JKS, Ustillo managed to shut down 3. That was an upper rush attempt. As you can see, you're funneling yourselves through a not even a squeaky door, the hut entrance, and it's such a tight choke point. If they hit the first shot and get multiple frags, I don't think the upper rush like that is extremely viable. I think an upper execution certainly has its place, but running through Molotovs and potential grenades at the very start of the round, I don't think that's going to be a tactic going forward for T-Tide. I don't think that's going to be worth the risk. Because how do you trade out frags there? Because if you're rushing 3 hut, let's say, right, and you're coming out the hut entrance, there's no time for communication to come through to give an exact call as to where people are to trade out kills. It's really going to be down to gut instinct, knowing where the CTs like to play, whether towards heaven or directly above you, which is an absolute nightmare of a shot. The spawns have been brought forward as well. We haven't touched on that. You can see the CTs there a lot more far forward. I think it's like 600 units more now. Same story for the Ts, but the CT can still get to the bomb site like 0.2 seconds quicker, or if they pull their nades down and try and slow you down. But like we said, Renegades now should have a free round here. JKS looking to open up the fragging here. Goes for the spray instead of the tap and does some damage. We can't quite find the killing blow.
Ooh,
that should do it.
Bye-bye. Oh, it did get him. Okay. I thought he fell off the edge just in time, but Voxic down. Good nade from JKS. Good position as well. He'll catch off Angel, who tries to swing out from the fences. Jacob's still back at the box on ramp. Box formerly known as New Box. I'm sure it'll still get called that even with the addition of the newer box downstairs. Back over towards Squeaky Small. Hole in the door. Has it. Perfectly positioned to catch it off when it opens. He's still also watching the doorway of Hut. Slaughter as Renegades shut down HellRaisers, who were back to the pistols after the force buy did not work out. They will buy this time, though. Remember, this is their map choice. We go next to Mirage. No, excuse me. We go next to Cash. Mirage was removed by HellRaisers. I skipped a line of that. We go next to Cash, and then Cobblestone if required.
I think Renegades have got enough to do this now. There's Kassad. Very passionate coach. Remember him in the major? How invested he was into every game.
He's an intense guy.
He is intense. He absolutely
nice guy.
is.
Very nice guy, but intense.
No, he's intense within the game. Very passionate, right? He's desperate for this team to win and succeed. It's been such a long road for him in terms of the coach. And they've won one big tournament. I think that was the one over in China, if I'm correct. I can't remember the name of it. But it was an age release, and they did win. And that seemed like it was the start of something great, but then obviously having to remove players, and now Jay comes in. Lost old Nafly to Liquid. That was a kick in the teeth.
That was, I think, especially how well he was playing. That said, Jacob's looking pretty good right now, but It's early days.
Yeah.
I mean, Naf has just finally reached the next level, I guess. He's evolved because, man, oh man, even on Liquid, he's kicking ass.
Absolutely. First tournament of Liquid, and managed to win a pretty prestigious tournament, the Summit. Lots of good teams there, taking down Cloud9 in the final. Congratulations to them. 13-11. Angel already made his way towards the secret steps. I guess it's not so much a secret anymore. Everyone knows about him. Secret's out.
I know. It's kind of funny.
Like, it's pretty exposed. It's the most common entry point for the Ts.
I don't know how it was named Secret.
I know.
To begin with. Like, did someone actually not know about it? It was like, hey, let me show you a secret. Let me show you the way.
Oh, there's stairs there now. And even Valve referred to it as secret, like in the patch notes and stuff. It's kind of funny.
Wow, yeah. It's so commonly known.
Oh, this is going to work for Jacob, surely. Well checked, though, by HellRaisers jumping up and has given the call. Good communications, and HellRaisers we're going to run away this round. Like we said, that one vent means Azza has to rotate out. He'll take down Angel. Or will he? Nice shot. And he's still out. Left in an absolute nightmare. Angel's looking crispy. Hitting a lot of good shots with the AK-47. I think that's his 20th frag, 21st. 13-12. Money not done for Renegades just yet, but that's quite impressive from HellRaisers. Getting towards Secret, like we said. Angel was there. Finishes the round off. Jacob going for the ramp boost. It's a very common position, but you chuck it in like maybe once a half, it can be very beneficial if your timing's good. You want to kind of hold up for the first two players and bank on them not checking. Ideally, you have a CT with you, just kind of like take the aggro away when being AWP at the ramp entrance. And another outside play here. This time Nifty will be waiting for them to cross over. Drops the incendiary to try and delay them. Jacob taken down, and Dead Fox, what is he up to? Finds 2 kills. Where is this happening? I guess towards ramp. It was Jacob who's playing that position, and that's going to be another round for HellRaisers. Nifty can't do anything about this. Lost all vision towards lower. JKS, the last line of defense towards that side of the map. They might be going back towards upper, as they have no idea where the T's reside right now.
Yes, I was checking to see that anyone's fallen back or potentially fallen back to CT to catch them on the wrap. Dead Fox is potentially in great stead to get gifted 2 kills because they need to get information. They need to try and take the fight back. Interesting repeak. I think he saw, at least I thought he spotted the second shoulder. He may have been looking toward the radar. Didn't need to repeak while reloading, that's for certain. So Renegades still with the lead, but that might change to a tie at the end of this round because there's only 4 players. Or excuse me, only 2 players left against 4 players for HellRaisers as Nifty starts to look elsewhere on the AWP. JKS already below. They're expecting that this is going to go lower. Unfortunately, perhaps they were just wishful thinking it, but fortunately for them, that's not going to happen. So they'll try and save the AWP and the M4 at this point in time. Nifty at least back toward lobby. Just barely got by, I think, before... Okay, no, Voxic did spot him, I was going to say. Some nice paper-thin walls on nuke. Is that what we need back?
I'm not sure. I guess the problem is it would benefit both sides, and then the CTs might even have more.
I think it was a little bit too predictable before.
So if you give them more options, it could be a bit of a nightmare. Maybe it works both ways. The T's going to wall bang towards the rafters, perhaps, and get CTs off the... You can already do that, to be fair. You can wall bang at the very top and get the CTs to drop down if you kind of find them out. It's very rare to see anyone attempt that these days.
There was a lineup as well from inside of Squeaky to behind this lower silo, the default plant.
Sure.
I think Anders found it. That said, one of the guns did get dropped. They'll buy anyway, but they kept the AWP, importantly. 13-13. HellRaisers starting to show some form.
Yeah, anyone's map still. Number 27. Full bar on either side. Ramp has been a problem for Renegades. Haven't been able to hold on to it. Dead Fox helped himself to 2 frags in the previous. Only outside player for now, at least, is going to be JKS. I think we have got Jacob, or sorry, Nifty with the AWP heading towards the secret steps altogether. So this is what I wanted to see more of. Let's see where that Molotov goes if we can.
Should be hot.
And that's actually... No, maybe not.
Did it?
Might have failed?
Yeah, I think it must have. It's not anywhere inside of the site.
But they seem like a lot more kind of easy to throw sort of utility, and trying to get flashbangs in instead of having to like kind of lob them over and bounce more skylights and that sort of thing.
Okay, I think it bounced out the side of the door of hut.
Right.
I'm seeing burn marks on the floor there, so we didn't quite see it from that camera angle.
45 seconds. You still have great position to shut this down. They'll try and flash him out, I assume.
That may have been CT-sided thrown. That seems defensive, not...
Yeah,
so
you're right.
It might have failed. I'd have to see it again.
Going out that tight choke point, have to check directly above them, remember, and it's just not going to work out. That is just not an approach that's going to work in this version of nuke. That's useless, isn't it? Like, just rushing it one by one. You can't trade frag. You got to look directly
that's
up.
not worked in any version of nuke, to be fair.
Yeah. That's just a bad call. No, I'm sure it spells itself out. You need me to explain that.
And they'll pause because they've got a bit of a money situation. Bondic has 7250. He can distribute that wealth. So too can potentially Angel. So they'll get a buy. That goes without saying across the T side, but it'll be their last one. And if it is, If they lose this, they're already on 15. They're facing 15. That's the game. So this is all in from HellRaisers at this point in time. They're going to go for the AWP on the T side finally as well. It's Voxic to hold it naturally.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They lose this one, the map's probably over. This is their pick, remember, as well. It does not bode well. For the best of 3. Renegades will have the single of themselves. Both of these teams 2 and 2. A lot of pressure here, looking to make it to the playoffs. There's a day off tomorrow from play. Seems to be able to chill out and kind of prepare themselves for the weekend. It's Nifty looking for the opening here. Smoke's down, can't quite see Issa. Issa can't see him. Smoke blocking Ether's vision. We are going to have at least Angel once again successfully making it down towards Secret. Smokes will come out. Angel won't have to commit here. He knows his forces the rotation. The fact he's even got down there, they have no idea as to whether 2 or 3 make it down. Is it just him?
Shot from Nifty, successful. Very tight choke point he wants there, or rather gap, I shouldn't say choke point, but gap that he wants to hold toward outer. Primarily for information at that point in time. Voxic's already gone by. Don't think they're aware. And Angel's up close. What a shot from Nifty to react. He was sitting and looking for further information. He didn't realize more had crossed. When he goes back for the peek, however, Voxic does finally get him down by holding the big garage. So now we're seeing some sustainable outside coverage and map control from the HellRaisers side.
Definitely. 35 seconds, though. Need to get that bomb down or find a couple more frags. Azaz still on top of the hub. No utility remaining at all for HellRaisers, so how did they really get to the precipice of the bomb site? He's still out, hunting for intel here, and he'll spot one, as that is, and that's the orb, not the player he wants to see. Avoids death for now, looking for round number 15. It looks like it's going to come in, almost certainly now. Voxic got his work cut out for him, can't connect the shot. Money in the bin, and Renegades survive with 3 players, all of AK-47s as well. $2,000 per player. Deagles, CZs, maybe rush towards event, hope for the best here, but Renegades now in touching distance of closing this one out on HellRaisers map pick.
Brilliant stuff from Renegades. Remember HellRaisers, we talked about it. They were 0 and 2. They've battled back since Issa joined them. Was able to do so at least. All CZ 75s. Armor for everyone except for Dead Fox.
Rush outside maybe.
I'm surprised Nifty didn't try and preemptive that, but he's got a better idea. He wants to hold them off. The incendiary.
He does do that very well.
Pop flash from Angel. They'll run by. Nifty's gone passive again towards CT. It's JKS that wants to spray in. Doesn't really do much. Catches Voxic with one spray. Or one stray, I should say. Angel down below already. Watch Dead Fox's position. JKS doesn't want to overcommit to the vents because that's exactly what they want. They want him caught in between the two. Jacob at the dark spot. Knows they're above. Windows blown out. Molotov's thrown.
This is very good. If he can just play this correctly, deny the bomb, that would be absolutely everything. But they planted behind the silo itself. He'll get one. Is it enough? As Azza will join him. It looks like he might be. Molotov towards the vent. That will hold them at bay at least for a while. JKS.
It does better than that. It pushes them out of it. If JKS is aware, he could actually drop now. That's his entry in. They're going to go for a double drop just so that they can trade at the very least. It's Azza that's going to be with him. Quick flash down. Azza goes first. JKS to follow this way. Even if one falls, the other trades, and they're inside of the site. Jacob's still holding in from the dark spot. Voxic's going to try and cover this off from decontamination. He's one of 2 left. It's just he and Bondic. Map's about to be gone. It certainly is. 16-13. Great win from Renegades on HellRaisers map choice. Pending the defuse. Keep your finger on the button. That's done. So very well done overall from Renegades. Good approach to the map considering they didn't pick it. They certainly seemingly have a clue. A lot of teams seem like they get caught off guard by that.
I think HellRaisers let themselves down with just focusing on that hut so much towards the upper bomb site. How many times did they try and run through their dry? No grenades, no execution, just one by one. I'm sorry, that was just poor calling a lot of the time. They couldn't just calm down and go towards ramp, be a bit more methodical. And yeah, sure, great upper holds from the Renegades boys, but I think they were gifted a few rounds there. Nice work from Jacob towards the ramp, especially good preemptive rotation towards lower, ready for that secret play to come in. Managed to deny a couple of kills. JKS didn't have the biggest game of his career, usually one of the stars of Renegades. He was a little bit quieter than usual, and decent orb work from Nifty there. But yes, it will be Renegades winning Nuke, which is HellRaisers' pick in this best of 3. And we move on to their map next, so this is looking very good for them indeed to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, that's where we are today. All three of our best of threes, all on the A stream today. We're down to just the 6 teams in the deciders. All three of them, teams go home and teams move on. So, yeah, one map away for Renegades.
Absolutely. Well, Matthew, that's been a lot of fun. The first time we got to cast Nuke, and I've enjoyed myself. I think it's promising.
I'm just going to say before I know where you're going with this, but
Yes.
but I actually didn't mind it. I think it looks pretty good. I like the changes.
It was fun. And on that note, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the desk and the second map very shortly.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible! Anything is possible!
You still always a monster, Tom!